I've sat here and watched the internet play out, and to me, the internet is the greatest opportunity that has existed pre like AI in our lifetime. And I think it's democratized so much stuff that like, if you can figure out how to make a dollar on the internet, like you can actually become self-sufficient.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to college. You don't need to do all this stuff. Like you can actually build something really, really cool, and it can be based on your art or what you love. And I am blown away constantly by how many people come and talk to me like, oh, I wish I could do that. I'm like, oh, just start.
Yeah.
And how many people complain about what happened with the internet. And I just feel like the scale at which this is coming with, if the promise of AI and robots is in the next 10 years, 5% of what the people who are most bullish on it think it will be, I think we're gonna have a lot of people very unhappy with their place in life. And I think a lot of it comes down to personal responsibility, and they have to own that. But I also really worry about the lagging effect of our education system. So, because I totally agree that it's all possible. And to me, the most important education is actually exposure. So you can have your worldview be broader.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
for
how
sure.
did I get exposure through life? Even though I grew up very privileged and got to travel a lot, but the biggest exposure I had was reading books. And then I look at, pre-COVID numbers, it was 50% of people over the age of 18 don't have an 8th grade reading level. I had an 8th grade reading level in like first or second grade. You know what I mean? Like that is, and I'm not that smart. Like that's to have it be, to think about it that way. And now I'm like, fuck, like what happens to all those people?
Yeah.
Because they can't, it's like the empowerment isn't there. Their worlds are TikTok.
Yeah.
Their worlds are just pure consumption based. Like it's like the Matrix, right? We just
production.
build these like little energetic consumption things for the robot future. Like how do we avoid that? And how can robots help us avoid that?
Yeah. I think that's a big question. If you have the answer to that, let me know. But
I mean, dude, I think it comes to, this is the thing, is like I actually think we could start changing our education policy right now. This is the problem though, is we're going to have, we're going to have 40 million people who have lived during this time period that will have inherent human value, but will not have obvious economic value. And I'm not sure, because I actually think if we can keep this growth curve going, if we can do what like Alpha School's doing, we can have AIs helping teach children at their pace wherever they're at. Like the data is insane.
Yeah.
But it's these people that are like younger than us and older than those people who have access to that.
Yeah.
And that's like that Gen Z is kind of fucking cooked.
It is. I mean, growing up with TikTok and with certain things, like we are a consumerist society, and that has just continued to expand. Like with the next generation, I've seen my cousins, I've seen others, right, who like are kind of less inspired in that way and just focusing on that. I think education needs to be changed completely. I think right now, even with AI teaching, it depends what you want to do. If you want to be a doctor versus a business person, or
I'm just trying to get to 8th grade reading level. I'm trying to get to college reading level across the nation. That would be awesome.
Read the Da Vinci Code.